Sometimes you want an object to appear and sometimes you don't want it to appear. Sometimes you want its color to change depending on certain situations. That's what this video is about, using the conditional feature. Here's an example where that might come in handy. As you can see, this is an absolute value function whose graph is controlled by these sliders here, the a, the h, and the k. And as I change those values, the coordinates of the zeros are constantly updated, and the zeros are constantly displayed. But you and I both know that the absolute value function doesn't always have zeros. If I kept a positive 1, but changed the k to a positive number, we can see that the function doesn't have zeros, but GeoGebra is still displaying those. And it's not because there's anything wrong with the formula. The formula is fine. So we need to tell GeoGebra when we want z1 and z2 to show up. I'm going to start with z1. Right-click on the object, go into Object Properties, and select the Advanced tab. The first field you see is Condition to Show Object. I'm going to tell GeoGebra when I want z1 to show up. Of course you know that if a is positive, k has to be negative in order for there to be a 0. So that's one condition under which I want to show the object. So I'm going to type in a is positive and k is negative. If a is positive, is a is greater than 0. And to say and, we type the and symbol twice. K is negative, is k less than 0. So there's one condition under which we want a 0, z1, to show up. The other condition, I'm going to type in after typing in or, which in GeoGebra is two absolute symbols. And then in the next set of brackets, I'm going to describe the other condition, and that is if a is negative and k is positive. Now, immediately you can see that z1 is not appearing because the conditions we set in order for it to appear have not been met. Currently, a and k are both positive. If I change the value of k to be negative, z once again shows up. Now you want to do the same thing for z2. Right-click, go into Object Properties, and then type in those exact same conditions. Let's see if it works. Right now, z1 and z2 are both appearing, which they should. And if I make k positive, they both disappear. So now we know that it's working when a is positive. Let's see if it's working when a is negative. Supposing I wanted this absolute value function, the entire function, to change color depending on whether a is positive or negative. Once again, you just right-click on the object whose appearance you want to change. Right-click on the function, go into Properties. Once again, it's the Advanced tab, but instead of the Condition to Show object, I go into the Dynamic Colors. There's only 3 choices for colors. Well, right now we can see that the function is blue when a is negative, so I want it to change to green when a is positive. So I type in a greater than 0. So right now a is negative, so the color of it hasn't changed, but if I make a positive, sure enough, it changes its color.